204 public episode.
Let's go. 4
The
toes
eclipse
down. Good to
episode.
go.
I'm supposed to get excited about not seeing something?
We live in a different world now.
Oh, something's blocking the sun? Oh, gee, I'm looking up right now. Something's blocking the sun all the time. The fucking roof.
Hey,
the fucking
roof.
You know, media reminded me a lot of my ex-wife the way it didn't want me to see the sun this week.
Yo.
How about that?
Pretty good.
Pretty
good.
If any divorcees with custody battles want to use that one.
And in court, if you want to use that.
You gotta wait another 7 years or whatever, because by the time this comes out, eclipse jokes will probably be dated, right?
Yeah. I think they were dated before the eclipse.
Well, it happens
Any
all the
event
time.
like that, like, years before it happens, people have made all the jokes.
Do you think the majority of people that actually moved themselves to see it, like went on any sort of trip or made any sort of reservations at all, even for like an hour drive, do you think the majority of them were disappointed?
Yes.
Well, if you saw it in like where it like completely darkened, I think that's pretty cool. It looked
Absolutely.
The pictures made it look real sick.
I think the people that planned being in Mazatlan for vacation in Mexico were geniuses. Also, here's my favorite right here. Look at Cedar Point today during it. Those people were the smartest.
Saw that. Yeah,
that's cool.
Like it got
you
dark.
Have somewhere to be. You're in fucking 100% coverage, and you get to possibly be on a ride for it, and you still get to ride rides for 7 hours after it. And by then, like traffic will just be like normally shitty as it is from leaving Cedar Point.
Here's my issue right now is I'm looking at this picture and I'm starting to get a headache, and I kind of don't feel good. Is that bad? Should I not be looking at
through
that?
the pictures?
Should I not? It might. I don't know. I don't feel
Another
good.
thing that will probably be dated / hard to find
anymore.
by the time this episode comes out, but searching at least today, immediately after the eclipse, eyes hurt or eyes and headache, searching that on Twitter and hitting latest and just reading so many people that ignored warning after warning after warning. And then literally people saying, I am not built differently. I've had a headache for 4 hours. Like,
you don't need to
it's
see
really
it that
funny.
bad.
You don't need to look at it anyway.
It doesn't look good. Like, I just looked at the rest of the sky getting dark, and I, like, sort of knew the sun was in a certain point, but wasn't looking at it. But, like, if you try and look at it, you're not seeing anything. You're not seeing a cool picture of the eclipse. You're just seeing, like, oh, ow, ow, ow.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's fine.
I was very tempted to look at it a few times.
It just it didn't do much here. Like I was telling you guys, we were supposed to have like 80% coverage, and it got like a little bit. It got noticeably darker, but like I looked up and through my phone, I was looking at it, and it just looked the same. I also had trees in the way, so I couldn't really see it clearly. But it was just like, it's a little.
Should have cut those down.
Okay, I'll do it right now.
Do you remember the blood moon?
I do remember the blood moon.
Yeah.
I remember I saw that one. Not that cool.
Just as you would suspect, Tom, I-79 south of Erie, Pennsylvania has just been standstill for the past 4 hours. People trying to get back to Pittsburgh.
That's not a surprise.
Speaking of looking at the sky for stuff, do you guys remember Halley's Comet?
Hail Bop is the one I remember.
I remember the
Hail Bop was the one that was in the
thing?
sky
Was
for
that-
like an entire summer. 96 or 97.
Yeah, it was around that time.
Hail
don't
Bop
remember
was the
that.
one you're thinking of, I think.
Hail Bop sounds like a fucking Barney character.
Well,
That's
Alex
Baby
could
Bop.
tell us.
Haley's
Fuck Baby Bop.
Comet.
Haley's
Okay.
Comet is the one from the,
That
I
was-
just saw Haley's Comet, she waved. Said, why you always running in place?
That
See, I
one
would've
was
thought Halley's Comet-
1986.
I would imagine Haley's Comet would be.
That was
would be
86. That
Paramore.
was some Gen X shit.
Yeah, Hail Bop was cool. We lived in, we were going out to the middle of nowhere in Missouri to see it, like, really, really well. It was weird having a fucking comet just be a part of the sky for an entire, like, summer.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there was, a comet around that time. It must be Hail Bop, and I conflated it because it was a dumbass 6-year-old, but...
Well, they basically have the same name. They have the same first 4 letters.
Yeah.
They could make that a little easier.
No, they made it, but my pops made a big deal of us like going out and looking at it because he was like, "Well, next time this comes through, I'll probably be dead. You guys might be alive."
Fuck.
No, I'll be dead too.
You guys are going to like seeing this next time because I'm going to be dead, so it's going to be way better, right?
Haley's Comet was a bigger deal, I feel like, so it's the more famous one. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that were remembering Hail Bop will think it's Haley's Comet as
Also,
well.
every comet is just Haley's Comet. Like, at a certain point, like, Just give it to Haley. Who fucking cares? I don't want it. I don't give a shit.
Why should they give it to a girl?
As a gift?
Actually, it was a guy. His last name was Haley. Edmund Haley.
It was
then
Bill.
I don't give a fuck anymore. I was trying to
Rock,
impress her.
20
Great.
Wait. Dudes Rock, 1705.
Okay.
Okay.
It was recorded by astronomers around the world since at least 240 BC. So
I think it's bullshit to name a comet after a guy who's dead.
Why not?
Like, that's just been going around for like a million years, and that guy just sees it once, and it's his comet. Like, we see it every year.
Comet. I thought you were saying comic.
Oh. No, they didn't have comics.
So, I mean, like, he was the first guy to write about it. Maybe write about the next comet, dude. Maybe.
Well, some guy probably saw it and was just like, "Whoa, look at that thing," and he just didn't call it a
find
comet.
one.
Yeah,
this is like typical left. Like,
I literally do.
If you're,
I own one, dude. I got one as a present when I was 7. I own a fucking star.
Leftist misogyny, where we're trying to take away the Halley's Comet, named it after a man. Of course. This is so disappointing.
No, if you're in your 20s and you think a comet should be named after a dead guy, you have no heart. But if you're like in your 30s and you think that, you have no brain.
Yeah.
I heard he actually named it after his wife, Mary Haley.
Oh.
They got married in 1682. So it actually is named after a girl. I don't have any proof of that, but it's probably true. That would be really nice of him to do that.
The proof is that we said it.
I named it after my wife. She has the same last name as me.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's how you get
there
away
were
with
smaller villages back then.
And you could also say, you could say, I named it after my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, grandpa, grandma, the whole clan.
Here's how you lie about it. You say he wrote about it in his journal, which they never published except for one place that I read it because it wasn't scientific. It was just personal. And everybody goes, oh.
See, if I had seen a comet, I would have named it Pamela Anderson Comet back in whatever that.
I would have named it Pamela Anderson's tits.
Yeah, there we go. Comet,
Pamela Anderson's tit.
Comet, of course, at the end.
Pamela Anderson Lee Comet.
Comet Lee.
I think that would have been cool. Like, because then, so the one that was like in the mid 90s, she was popular, so you just name it after her and be like, hey, I just named this comet after you, crazy, right?
Yep, Cindy Crawford.
You want to hang out?
Let's go around the horn. If you got to name a comet, I think I'm calling mine Triumph the Insult Comet Dog.
Oh, okay.
Chet, you're up.
Shit.
Come on.
That's a really long name for a comet.
Comet.
I think I would call it Bale Hop.
Mm-hmm.
Just to confuse everyone even more.
Mm-hmm.
It's named after Christian Bale and Dennis Hopper, my two favorite actors.
I would name it Nothing to Worry About.
Did you see, I don't know if you got, well, you did see it because I sent a picture, but a certain Ohioan was celebrating watching the eclipse and gave himself a Faygo bath in his apartment complex's little green area. So I guess
Orange
we're all
now.
not a lot's changed. I thought this eclipse would be some breathtaking, life-altering event, but no, apparently.
I did see some people say that it made them cry and feel like they've opened a new era of their life.
Okay,
that's
weird.
I
mean, you could have a baby for that if you really wanted that.
I feel like during the eclipse day, all COVID was killed.
That's probably true because it was a black light.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
it was like that UV light.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's only in America and parts of Canada, so it's going to be back eventually by traveling. But we were at 0 cases for one day.
Hey, guess what?
Man,
we
that
killed
would be
COVID.
So cool. That would be so cool if the eclipse was like a black light, and the black light went on, and you could see all the people waiting, and everyone's looking down at their shirt, and they're like, "Oh no, 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 no! Oh no, no! What? I grabbed the wrong shirt."
Mock Tech just walking around looking like the fucking radiation ghost from Simpsons.
Looking like
my old
Slimer
Nickelodeon shirt from when the logo used to be white.
Looking like
toothpaste.
Yeah,
my toothpaste shirt.
My toothpaste shirt. I brush my teeth in this shirt.
Yeah, my shirt that I wear when I brush my teeth and then I throw it under the bed.
Oh, you mean my toothbrushing smock? Yeah, this whole thing.
Yeah, because you might drip it down your shirt. You don't want to get your shirt wet, so you
You-
just use the same shirt every time, and then also wipe your mouth on it. And then if you also want to cum in that shirt too, that's okay. But it is primarily the toothbrush shirt.
To me, Moktak seems like a boxer's kind of cum guy, where he just sort of like releases,
Pulls him up when he's done.
pulls him up, and then just like lays back down. Or well, he's already
I think
laying
he-
down probably. But
I think he puts his dick in one of those closing trash can lids, like the swinging ones, and just comes in there like that.
Well, maybe it wouldn't be a problem if a
clean.
woman would let him do it inside.
yeah.
You know, maybe there wouldn't be cleanup then.
Yeah, why doesn't he have a wife?
pretty
why
sure
don't we
there are-
have a government?
Yeah, why don't we
I'm
actually try to
confident-
solve the problem instead of just saying, oh, why don't you stop coming on the floor, stop
Yeah.
coming on the wall,
Stop
stop coming
coming-
on the ceiling? Well, maybe give him a real hole to come in.
Yeah, we gotta
I
get
am,
Moktak and no loads refuse cum dump.
Yeah, he needs a cum pig. It could be a guy.
I'm confident that there are many well-trained and taken care of dogs in the world that would make better fathers to a human child than Moktak.
Oh, I mean,
Like more
yes,
responsible
absolutely.
and like does a better job.
Do you know
Oh,
who
for
would
sure.
be like a worse father than Moktak? It would be like Lingle, only because he's a little bit more dangerous with his
Yeah,
yard.
he's gonna go out in the woods.
Yeah, and like
He would
he's
leave
gonna
the
give a
baby on the
newborn.
counter and stuff.
Yeah, he's gonna give a newborn like ticks and like have to call
Yeah.
his wound nurses to like come take care of it.
Picking up the baby and you just get it dirty with your fingernails.
Oh, just getting all sick. Immediately.
Having your kid remind you to clean your fingernails.
He'd have it on a harness and just be pulling it and dragging it across the grass.
Oh,
and then
absolutely.
he'd realize after like 30 minutes that it wasn't on there anymore and he'd have to go back for it.
Every time my dad comes back inside, I have to check that he cleaned behind his ears. He gets so
That
gross.
was really cool. Really cool.
You know what? Actually, that
You're
would
the
be kinda
Daytona
nice.
500.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Daytona
I'm actually
one.
I'm using a headset from NASCAR today. This is sponsored.
Oh, wonderful. Just just adds those
Getting
sounds every once in
sponsored
a while.
by NASCAR. That would be my sponsor if I was a NASCAR driver. I think the sponsor would be NASCAR.
Yeah.
It'd be NASCAR and then Budweiser, not Bud Light.
If I was a NASCAR driver, I would want to be sponsored by the NFL because they're big.
I only support Budweiser, not Bud Light.
Mm-hmm.
The straight one.
Yeah, that's true. Don't buy Bud Light. Buy Budweiser. It's for
The
guys.
straight one to drink.
Mm-hmm.
It's Budweiser, but for guys.
There's a football league streaming this weekend. It was really entertaining on YouTube called the A7FL,
Ooh.
and it's New Jersey based. And these guys play full tackle football with no pads.
Ah,
I
on the
saw something
website-
about that. Yeah.
On the website for one of the teams, I was like looking up the roster for the teams that were playing that day, which was the Silk City Animals versus Patterson. It's just Patterson. They call themselves the U. And it's all these like former like college players, I guess, and shit. Oh my god, it is CTE speedrun. It's crazy. And a bunch of Twitch streamers got paid to watch it this week. And yeah, one of the quarterbacks for one of the teams had a big ass blunt in his mouth and his picture on the website.
So they still tackle like in proper football, right?
Yeah, and they're like extra like dickish about it, like whipping people on the ground like NFL street style.
Yeah, like because we'd have like playing
It's not
rugby
okay.
guys that had never played rugby before but played like high school football and knew it from that, and they always got super fucked up because I guess in football they teach you to like lead with your helmet and like hit them with your head because it's like a big battering ram. At least that's what they told us.
Yeah.
And they always got injured, not from getting tackled, but from tackling people because they'd like concuss themselves. Or the other thing too is, yeah, they'd whip guys to the ground like that, which you're not allowed to
Yeah.
do in rugby. It has to be
Yeah.
controlled.
It's not surprising, but it seems the most common injury in this league so far are knee and collarbone injuries.
Well, like that, you can't do those tackles now in like the NFL. Like it's you can't lead with your head. You can't whip people to the ground anymore.
Yeah,
There's like they're
bro.
trying to take it away, but like it's.
What do they call those tackles? The ones where you grab their hips basically and whip them to the ground?
The hip drop.
The hip drop, yeah. So that's the tackle where I feel like it's going to be too much of a gray area for the first season of enforcement.
Oh yeah.
And I when they dropped that rule, I was like, this rule's great. It protects no one and makes the game like 35 minutes longer.
That's the
It
new
is-
one, right? That they just
Yeah,
did
that's
this
the brand
offseason?
new
Yeah.
one. So we haven't seen it
Yeah.
yet because, like, what was it? 2018, they redid the quarterback rules, and like falling on a quarterback was considered.
Thanks, Tom Brady.
was considered a penalty and all this stuff. And like it took a long time for them to sort of figure out.
But kissing your son's okay.
That's right. What you can and can't do. Yes.
Yeah.
Is it gay if you get your collarbone broken by another man or vice versa?
Why
because
would it
that's
be
a very
gay?
sensual area.
You're playing
like if
football. It's sensual.
If you kiss someone's collarbone, that's just about the...
What year? Okay, Puritan, a collarbone sensual. You know what sensual? Pussy and ass.
That's a pretty androgynous... Wait.
Huh?
What's the one that means sexy
Erogenous.
zone? Erogenous zone.
My androgynous zone.
It's androgynously erogenous.
Welcome to the androgynous zone. It's Pat.
You've never been complimented on your clavicles before?
I broke my
Like
brother's
that's classic
collarbone,
romance
so I hope
novel
it's
shit.
not.
Like her fingers went daintily down his collarbone.
Yeah, that's
or
like
whatever.
classic now. Now they're disgusting. Like the
I hate when they do that. Get to the tits.
the
you know?
erotica now is like it's very vulgar. It's like gross. Like they're just talking to each other and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
let me milk you" and shit. Like
They're
so
all
it
monsters
works.
too.
Yeah, they are. They're like shifters,
They're all actual
man.
monsters.
Some of them
I
are
want to
shifters.
do the hand sign for blood in your pussy with my hands.
They got to make them
That's how
stop. I
vulgar
think
they are.
the Office was the first TV show to really tackle that problem when they showed
Mm-hmm.
Phyllis. I think she was she listening to the audiobook of 50 Shades of Grey or reading the actual book? I
Yeah.
forget. And she
She's
was like,
listening to the audiobook and moaning at work.
like bouncing up and down in her chair, like grinding on the chair. They were the first to really explore that, and I think that happens a lot. And we've
But, like,
got to put a stop to it.
50 Shades is so mild compared to how all the books are now. They're just it's word porn. That's
Yeah, so
all
much
it
of that is just
it's
setup.
fine. I don't
Only
care
book-
about it, but
Only books that Jason owns. So
oh,
awesome.
yes. Man, I was going through his old
Horny sapiosexual.
his old tweets because after Sunday when we watched Nate Grandma order Subway to his hotel room in
The worst possible
Alaska,
shit.
I was just going through all of Jason's vacation tweets, and they're just so funny. Where he ordered a Wendy's chicken sandwich, chili, and a Wendy's like double burger, and then just sat in his hotel room and binged The Rookie.
Fuck, man. Wendy's fucking sucks regardless to begin with. It sucks now.
Yeah.
Also, if you're getting it DoorDashed, that's like in my experience, that's one of the worst ones to pick up at.
Nail in the coffin. Yeah, it's gonna. Because the problem is anything at Wendy's once it gets cold, it's dead.
Yeah.
There's one person working there, and it's their first day every day. And then once you get it, like 20 minutes later, it's basically cold. And then once you get beyond that, the chili is the trash that they scrape from the grill.
Yeah, it's all the old burgers and like old shit that they
it's
throw
like the old
into it.
bits that fell off mixed with tomato sauce. So you're ordering that on DoorDash? Like, order anything else. Order Chinese food.
I never understood
What was
the
that
chili.
you said, Alex? The bits fell off. Now we need a shirt with Wendy's chili
The bits
on it.
fell
It says
off.
if you're eating this, the bits fell off. How about that?
I love chili, but I never understood ordering like Wendy's chili. Like I'm sure it's fine, but I never wanted it. And like I can just go make chili. You can just make
very
chili.
easy
It's
to
real
make.
easy. Very simple to make. Takes
Beans
no time
and-
at all.
Tomato sauce, peppers, onions.
Having people over and say you're making chili and you just pour Manwich into a bowl and heat it up. Here you go. I slaved over this. Enjoy.
I don't like how gendered Manwich is.
There should be a woman
I don't know
witch.
why they had to gender that.
Well, I guess it couldn't be woman witch.
Yeah, then it would be
Would be a
sexist.
witch.
Witches
witches
are
are already
always
women.
women.
Yeah, that's right. I know. That's what I'm trying to think of a way where we can.
They should call it sandwich.
Manwich should be called
Okay.
Wizard.
Sandwoman.
Yeah, wizard. Warlock. They should call it Warlock. It's a can that says Warlock, and there's like a guy with a hat with a star on it, and it's Manwich.
Remember the fat he and Amanda type people that were the pedophiles on Gone Baby Gone? When he goes to the pedophile house and he has the big pack of cocaine, and the woman goes, "Just give us the whizzer." I love that line.
Never seen that.
It's a good movie, but I forget everything about it.
After we saw that in theaters, whenever Andrew wouldn't hand me something right away, I would do that. Just give me the whizzer. Calling your key of coke some whizzer.
Casey
Very
Affleck
cool.
and
Yeah, Casey Affleck and Michelle Moynihan.
It seems like wizards kind of fell off.
Well, science beat out wizardry. I mean,
Well,
that
that's
much is
true,
clear.
but also you've got all these witches. How come
Yeah.
women took over? It used to be only Merlins and warlocks and wizards, and now we've got the witches. We've got these people doing tarot cards on TikTok. And how come we don't have wizards? Why don't they have a wand?
Remind me to fucking find the farting psychics compilation. I need. It's been lost. It's lost media now. I need to find it.
What was
That
the
TikTok
farting psychic?
There's a TikTok psychic from last year that went viral for like a week, and then I think she deleted her account. But she sits there like telling people their fortunes and shit. And she has like a green screen type like stitching background where you can just see her. But there's parts where you hear her just be like, and you hear the fucking toilet fill up, and like she's clearly just taking big old dumps like while she was on.
Who amongst us?
Yeah, who amongst us hasn't predicted the future on the toilet? Like I predict I'm about to shit and then flush.
I predict it's gonna hurt, and I'm not gonna flush, and I'm gonna forget to wash my hands.
I predict it's gonna be only diarrhea.
Oh, great! My wife's gonna be mad at me because I forgot to flush again. I already know what's gonna happen.
Funny. It's always funny when somebody thinks they're gonna be like sneaky with that, and they do like a fart, and the porcelain bowl just echoes it. It's like, grrr.
You gotta turn on the vent.
Yeah, you gotta flush the toilet.
You gotta just go. You gotta just take a big shit before you go live on TikTok.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think like mediums and people like that, they're kind of supposed to be weird and gross.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the old days, it was like a blind beggar who stinks and has like flies all around him, or like some insane person who lives in a swamp.
Weird woman that is pulled around by like 2 donkeys and she has like a cart.
Yeah, like a really ugly woman with like warts all over her, and she's green, and she's like, yeah. So I guess
she's like a woman witch.
If I was going to believe someone was going to predict the future, they would probably be really stinky and smell bad and have some dermatological issues on their face. They would be green. They would be very wet all the time.
I think I know a guy.
Baba Vanga was like that. You remember her? Baba Vanga was a lady that died in the 90s, but she was a blind woman from Bulgaria, and she would pop up on like the Bat Boy type issues of National Enquirer.
I remember this. Yeah.
Look at her.
Well,
Gary.
From what Alex is saying, it sounds like oh yeah, I remember her.
Baba Vanga.
What Alex is saying is we just need to get Scotty some tarot cards on Temu.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
If you think about it, a stinky guy, kind of skin abrasions, give him some tarot cards and let him read the future.
I have a little update. Speaking of stinky witchy women, I need to talk about Melanie Mack for a second. Do you remember last month when we had the fucking weed store explosion with all the tanks in Detroit and that shit was going off?
The batarangs, yeah.
Yeah, it shot batarangs across the world. Well, this was the funniest tweet of the week. Melanie Mack holding a batarang, just like the ones that were thrown in the explosion. Right after, on Fortnite Friday last week, we were discussing, who the fuck are those for? Well, there we go.
It's like something that if you got pulled over with it, they could arrest you. Like that could be actually classified as a deadly weapon, especially if you were black and they just caught you on the street holding one of those. They would be like, all right, well, you're attempted to murder me. Come with me.
It would be like something that would be like the minimum to get a bad kid expelled from a high school, like a public school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even if you weren't going to do anything with it, they would just find that. This
piece of fucking shit, ugly ass knife. You want to call it that?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that weapon would actually be called.
There was probably a kid who found one on the ground after that explosion, put it in his backpack, and then went through the metal detector in school, and they found it, and he got in trouble. He had to go home and be like, Mom, you have to explain what happened in the explosion.
I would have said that it fell in my backpack when I was walking home from school that night.
But it is funny that a 37-year-old woman who lives with her parents is spending money on a pink batarang.
She got the girl version too.
Tweeted,
it's purple.
Like right before she bought that, she tweeted that I'm going to stay off of online. I'm going to touch grass, and then of course she said the F slur because
which is the yard.
It's her parents' yard, and she just went outside.
And she goes out there and she's like, "Time on the farms, time spent away is just so amazing." And it's like, bitch, you are holding your motherfucking phone. You are holding your phone and taking pictures and posting on social media. You are not touching grass.
And then she just posted a photo of her knife and then continued to be online.
Have you considered that she might need it for fighting crime?
Yeah, she might need to fucking fend off some of her own followers.
That is true.
Yeah. I mean, I'm rooting for the followers, if I'm going to be honest.
I don't know if that could stop a mock tech.
That single knife would not stop a mock tech.
It would just get him mad.
Oh, fuck no. No, that would be like...
Hey, mock tech, give her that hug.
And also many of the people after her are also armed.
That would be like when they shoot the Sarlacc with a simple blaster. It just gets
If AR-15 gets angry at her and he tries to drive down there and he's not really that far from Texas, I don't think bringing a batarang to a gunfight would be a good idea.
No.
His car wouldn't make it.
Well, actually, if it's AR-15...
way to hurt a woman, but...
Yeah, he would call her to ask her to pick him up.
Everyone else around you is going to be winged, but I think you would survive if you are the target of AR-15. I've seen
that
him
is
shoot.
true.
I would hate to throw that thing and it fucking hits all my enemies, but then it comes back and I catch it and it cuts my hand. Ah!
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh man. Just oh, I hate it when it sticks in my hand.
That's why the Aboriginal Australians, you'll notice, they didn't put a knife on the boomerang.
I always thought about that even when I was a little kid. Like, I'm so glad I'm not around in sword fighting days. I think I'd be good at it, but I'd hate to smash my knuckles against someone else's sword. That's what I was worried about. Ooh, ah!
Ow! Time out! Time out!
Time! Ow!
Ow! Ow!
Sucking your finger.
Ooh, taking your glove off.
Did you guys ever make any like cool fucking weapons like that? Like
all day, every day.
As a mischievous
as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
We were obsessed with the what was it, the Redwall books, one of my friends and I, and where they're like all the little animals, but they're all just having like these insane battles. Yeah, they're great books. And so we would just like find sticks and then just like sharpen them and make like a fort and like make spears and then fight each other with them, make swords and all this shit.
For Christmas one year, our like teacher got us little like goodie bags that had like a pencil sharpener and some other shit in it. And my friend Alan, he had been taking elastic bands and cutting them so it was just like one long strand and then going up and like whipping people with them. So I disassembled one of the pencil sharpeners and tied the razor blade to the end of an elastic, like through the little screw hole on it. And I was like, hey, I made you like a super souped up elastic band. You should try it out. And he's like, well, I don't want to do it on a person. I'll see if I can stick it into this chair. And so he pulls it back and it bounces off the chair and swings back and like sticks directly into his thumb.
No.
and so then he had to like go up to the teacher and then like eventually the principal's office and be like, yeah, I got some lead stuck in my pencil sharpener and I tried taking it out and it got stuck in my thumb.
We had
a rubber
bullshit.
band got stuck on the pencil sharpener and it got stuck on my thumb as well.
When I was like 10, we moved into the house in Davisburg, and that was like the one that was built in 1865. And we had a pole barn that was full of a bunch of antique tools up in the loft. And I took one of these and put hockey tape on where you would hold it, and just use it. And I would resharpen the blade, and I would use it to actually clear the weeds right on the side of the road, like you're meant to be.
Yeah, those are cool. They actually work.
Yeah,
they were. It was really cool.
There's a culture of YouTubers or people who use them on YouTube. I got into watching videos, and then after like the third video, I'm like, I gotta stop watching guys cut grass on YouTube.
Sometimes those simple tools are nice. You don't have to use gas. You don't have to prime it up. You don't have to. It's a lot less maintenance, and it is exercise too.
I understand, Chet. Though there's something special about those accounts where they're like, all the neighbors in this neighborhood said that there was no sidewalk here, and I spent 15 hours showing them that there really was. The guy that's just digging up like they're doing yards for free of like houses that are all like in blight and shit to make it look better. And it works out for those guys because guess what? All their videos have like 3 million views. They make so much money off that shit.
The city should pay those guys.
It's cool too, and half the time it's like elderly people that are like not even able to move, and they're like, I don't mean for it to look like this. I just can't get out here anymore. And then they try to pay him at the end. He's like, "Oh no, this is for me. I'll make the money back on YouTube. I promise." Blah blah blah.
I would do that, but those guys are so fast at it that like
that's what I'm saying. They have really good equipment too, but like watching them fucking shovel then power wash the cement that hasn't been seen since like the
they
80s
fit it into
so
they fit it into 60 seconds. How do you power wash that fast, dude? You're so good.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It takes me fucking forever.
Damn. Commenting, damn, I want to do this, but you keep fucking finding the good houses. I can't find any.
Damn,
that would be cool. You know how those guys, you know how there are those fake fire restoration guys, and they'll compete? They're basically like street gangs.
Yeah.
And they'll listen to the fire frequencies and then show up, and then there'll be like 2 competing companies, and like they'll be like, no, fuck you, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. And then they like say they're going to repair it and then never show up. It would be cool to do that with the yard guys, where like 2 yard guys show up and they're trying to do the same old lady's lawn, and they get in a fist fight, and there's like gunshots going off, and the police
That
get
shit
called.
happens a lot too, of like the 24/7 emergency plumber type guys. Whenever there's like a lot of flooding, those guys will be driving around being like, "No, get out of here, I'm here," because those guys get paid like $175 an hour.
People
They're
say
like,
the word
"No,
mold.
I need this job."
You can say the word mold to some people, and they'll be like, "Okay, I will write you a check for $1 million." You don't even have to show them the mold. You're just like, there's some mold, and this could cause health issues.
I found some cancer dust in your bathroom fan.
You know who I learned also does that is tow truck drivers. I got I had a band fucking breaking my car. I had to get it towed to the shop. And the driver, it was like immediately post the first couple COVID lockdowns. I think it was my first time back to work. And the guy said that so many people had their like registration on their cars expire and not think of it because it was during COVID lockdown. So now like cops are looking for it extra hard, and we're pulling them over and like getting cars towed left and right.
That's
and
such
so
shit.
he saw a cop fucking pull somebody over like by the auto shop or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to like hit them up after to see if they need a tow." And surely enough, as I'm like driving back, I got a ride, and the same tow truck driver's there, like talking to the cops, getting ready to tow this fucking vehicle.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I've fallen for that scam. I've been scammed by that, where you don't have your registration, and then you get pulled over, and they don't let you drive the car again. You just have to walk home. Then it's a lot of money to get it out of impound as well.
Yeah, I'm a white bitch. I got a warning.
I got pulled over. Yeah, I got a ticket, and I couldn't find my shit in the car. And because I think I took it out for whatever reason, and they're like, "Oh, you just got to mail it in," and I was like, "All right."
Alex was
Yeah, it
wearing
really
his hat
depends.
that said woke.
I was wearing my woke hat.
Get the fuck out of the car. They got their gun on you.
That's why it's better to just renew it online. Way cheaper.
That's why I got rid of my car, because I didn't renew my registry.
Do it online.
Well, if
because
you're not
it's-
using it at all.
Yeah, exactly. That my car was just broken.
Might as well be like
So I was
on
like, all
cinder
right.
blocks in the yard.
I think in every state, once it's like late, you can't even do it online anymore. You got to go do it in person. That's the worst.
Well, that's what Ohio was like. But when we were living at my apartment, and my car was already on its like last legs, like right as COVID started, and then like so March happens, and like I'm just like, I'm not driving that fucking car ever again. And
Yeah.
it just sat there in the apartment's parking lot until about September, and they're like, "Hey, we noticed your tags are expired. Like, you're gonna need to like update that." And one of the tires was like just empty. There was no air in it.
That's the biggest
And,
tell when they get mad once your tires are flat.
Yeah, and then I was just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, like I'm mailing it in. We'll get it done soon." And then they called again a week later, and I was like, "Oh, it's just taking forever. It's taking forever." And they're like, "All right, we're gonna tow your car until you like get rid of it." And so I had to call a place to like tow it, and then get it junked because it was just shit. But I just kept telling them, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Oh, it's in the mail. It's in the mail." And I just would go back to playing video games.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
like
like,
really.
What are you gonna do?
You didn't
Tow my
save
car? I
that
don't
much
give a fuck.
money probably by doing it yourself. Like if they had tried to charge you or whatever, it would have been like about
I
the same
got to
amount.
sell it. I just would not have gotten the car back. Like they towed the car. Oh, it's in the impound.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
They would
fucking
just
keep
take the $200 for the junk fee.
Early
Yeah,
2015,
exactly.
I had my Subaru, and it was also on its last leg. It was like 380,000 miles or something.
Mm-hmm.
And never died though. It was running still on its last day when it finally got towed away. But that sat also like your car, just kind of fucking sitting there, and they didn't really say anything until the tires were flat. But the funniest thing is Michigan's a rear plate only state, so everyone just backs their cars in. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
I was doing that at my last job site. There was only 2-hour parking, and it was by the university, so there was a lot of like traffic cops coming by and giving out tickets.
Yeah.
But there was
Yeah.
this place where you could back in, and so I just did that every time and never got another ticket.
Yeah, there's too lazy to go check.
That reminds
I-
me of
I
that new
understand.
Illuminator video where he sounds like a 90-year-old who's demented, where he says, I'm just getting more and more forgetful these days, and today I forgot my wallet, and I just keep having these thoughts like, what if I forget my wallet and then I get in an accident and die, and then they can't identify my body?
Dude, you can take any Illuminator video from the past like 3 months, like just the audio, and put it over that one Godspeed album, and it would be just like the fucking audio that they use on the album. What if I and I get scared? What if I leave my wallet at home and I get stopped or I'm in an accident? How would they know? Like, all the fucking like
he didn't even consider getting stopped, and
exactly.
The Providence
Getting a
police
ticket.
saying, "Well, take an Uber home."
Let me ask you this though, like, I've gone out of the house like just for a walk or whatever, and I'm not planning on buying anything, so I don't have any form of identification for me. And the thoughts crossed my mind of like, I wonder if something like horrible happened, like if they'd be able to figure out who the fuck I am or whatever, because I don't have
eventually.
a wallet.
You
Yeah,
go
the
to the
dentist or
dentist,
whatever.
so-
But like, is that a
I think
weird
usually-
thought to have, or is the weird
that's-
thing here that he like went driving without his license?
Yeah. I'll
The
tell
thing
you.
is, usually someone's calling you missing.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you what's
Here's the
weird
thing.
for him.
Everyone fucking knows me. They see my body laying under some leaves and I'm dead. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, it's Michael."
They
all know
the
him.
thing with him.
He was so
no.
nice.
The thing with him is, which is frustrating, is that like he left his house, forgot his wallet, and decided, oh, let me stop and make a video about how I'm forgetting stuff, and not like go back and get my wallet. Like, his thought process is to sit down and record a minute-long video about, oh, isn't it crazy when you forget your wallet sometimes?
Yeah, but
not
like,
go back and get it.
he was feeling those creative juices flowing, right? And so I think it's smart that he pulled over and just like recorded that fire.
Yeah, it's better than doing it while driving.
Maybe.
True.
I don't know. Big Dave records videos while driving all the time.
That's-
and he's
that's
doing
also
great.
true.
So.
It is such an insane thing that you would hear from your grandma right before you take her car away.
Mhm.
I keep forgetting my wallet, and I know one of these days I'm gonna crash and be exploded in a blaze of fire, and they won't know who I am. They'll have to check my
Blaze of
dental
glory.
records. I'll go out in a blaze of glory, and I'll get to be in Valhalla with my ancestors. And you're like,
no,
no,
we can
Grandma.
complain
about.
Grandma, you're not taking everybody with you. I don't care what
Grandma,
you
you're
wanna
taking
do.
nobody with you.
Yeah, you were not taking anybody with you. I'm sorry.
Do you guys ever have
Sorry.
friends that would ride with you that were chronic, or even like maybe a partner that's a chronic no seatbelt wearer? And I always thought,
No,
growing up, if I'm sitting in the back, I don't really give a fuck, but which is stupid. But when I'm in the front, like I'm like, no, my ass is not going flying ridiculously.
My mom was like always very adamant about seatbelts, and then to the point where I remember now, we had shitty cars growing up, but then like mostly the cars had like, especially if you were in the front seat, like it has the alert like you're not buckled up, so you have to buckle up. And then
Not
now
wearing
it's
a
like, well, you
seatbelt
just
could
buckled
save your
up.
life in some very certain situations, like that Kuwaiti guy rolling his Toyota FJ on the beach. That's
Yeah,
your video
that's
of the
true.
year so far.
Yeah, or
But,
if there's like a guy stopping people's cars to check if they're gay, and he
Mm.
catches you with the seatbelt on and he shoots you. It's like when the Columbine guys ask people, "Do you believe in God?"
That's the bit that I've been telling everyone to do if they have a dog that is intrusive with other people, where they like a big dog that immediately starts sniffing other people, like people's genitals. Oh, don't worry about him. He's a rescue. He used to work for the PD. He was their gay checker.
The army.
Gay or not? Yeah,
He's a
Well,
military.
he only sniffs guys who just jacked off.
yeah. He worked for the Turkish military. Yeah, that's weird. He usually only does that if I had just jacked off.
He used to work for
You
Nick
shake your head
Fuentes
and
and the
walk away.
Groypers. He was trained to check if guys have jacked off in the last 24 hours. He was trained. He was a cum sniffing dog, and he was retired.
Yeah, Nick Fuentes would have to get rid of him. He just kept barking all night.
Yeah,
I
he's
think all of those guys.
He might be too good at his job. Maybe he's a little overqualified. Maybe we could get one with Is there a dog with COVID who maybe has some issues with his senses?
We need to have everyone tweet at Daisy Fuentes to get her fucking son under control. I'm sick of his shit.
I'm sick of these Latino fucks ruining our country.
Yeah, that's what you like. Take it as you're going to protest Nick Fuentes speaking at a college, and you're like, "No Latinos, go where you came from."
I think queer Latino Zoomers are the biggest problem we have right now as a society. We need to do something about it.
I think I'm here for the wrong reasons, y'all. My bad.
Sorry, I got swept away.
Fuck.
Femboys and catboys, they're going to usher us into an age of fascism.
Oh no.
That's how
Oh,
I
no,
understand
I'm
it
not.
anyway.
Okay.
That's what I think is going on.
That's how I see it from the seat of my chair, right in front of my computer.
Oh no, dude.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh,
I don't
no.
know. I mean, like, you know, if the There's a cat person that wants to just rule as a dictator. Whatever. I don't care.
Oh, I have a hypothetical.
The New York Times article.
Do you think there's ever been an old person who wanted to do a school shooting and they didn't have the gun, or they forgot to do it, or they just got distracted, and then they realize that they're the oldest surviving person in their high school class? Mm-hmm. Like they hear about they see the last obituary and they realize if there was a class reunion today, I would be the only person there, and they're like, yes, I fucking did it. I fucking did it.
Got it.
I did it without, I won the war without firing a single shot.
The war of attrition.
Yeah.
Maybe.
People will definitely think that, like, people that were remembering bullies, like 50 years from now, they'll be that way for sure.
Yeah.
Because this generation is so soft. Actually, I've talked about that before.
That shit happened so quickly. Like, I didn't get really bullied. Like, I didn't get my ass kicked or anything. But like, guys who were like, "You're fucking gay," or called me the F slur. Like, one of them got arrested for breaking into his neighbor's house and stealing his liquor when he was like 17.
Owned.
And another one overdosed on fentanyl. Like, really quickly, they just died or went to jail.
They dropped. Yeah.
I have a story related to that. There's a cool news article I saw related to stealing alcohol. This was in South Africa. Thieves forced to drink alcohol they had stolen from liquor store. Thieves who broke into a wines and spirits shop have been taught a severe lesson. A video of thieves forced to consume alcohol they had stolen has raised all sorts of reactions from netizens. The video has been featured on multiple blogs and shows three men sitting on a sofa as they each hold bottles of what appears to be whiskey. The video is from South Africa, where the wine and spirits shop owner caught the trio stealing, and rather than frog march them to the police, the thieves were forced to drink all the alcohol they had stolen. Three crates of the beverage can be seen in front of them, with netizens wondering how they will manage to drink everything. In some of the videos doing rounds online, the hapless delinquents can be seen seated on a couch as their captors force them to drown bottle after bottle. One of the thieves has bumps on his body, perhaps as a result of a beating from the robbery incident. Two big men with whips stand in front of them, ordering them to hurry up as they threaten to whip them.
What the fuck?
Damn.
And the news article's like, isn't that cheeky? Just move on. It's so great. Like, holy shit.
Not like you just poison three guys. Yeah, like you tortured three guys.
It's pretty crazy over there. That's where they have the flamethrowers on the cars, right?
Mm-hmm. And those crazy videos of the fucking armed guards with the automatic weapons that have to outrun guys trying to fucking shoot them, and they have shields on their tires and shit.
Mm-hmm. It's an arms
fucking
race.
Insane. Great videos, though. Very entertaining.
The higher the risk, the higher the reward.
I guess that's true.
What's his face? The fucking, I am rectangular. That guy, the fucking singing CEO. He went to take money and supplies to his mom's orphanage in Eswatini, former Swaziland. And on his way back out of the country, back into South Africa, they got fucking kidnapped and marched around to like 6 ATMs and got jacked for like $53,000 cash.
I remember that.
And guess what?
Made that video
He's very rich and completely fine because...
Yeah.
And so are the guys who took that money. That goes a long way down there.
Yeah, they got away.
Yeah, it's like that New York Times lady that got scammed a month back or whatever.
It's exactly like that. That one's so awesome.
That one's still so funny. Just
props to whoever did that, because that's like a lot of effort. But if you can fucking get someone to be that stupid, awesome.
Yeah, that's your cash cow.
My new favorite account, Free Time. That motherfucker, he has 619 videos. He started it 4 years ago, and he goes into every fast food place possible. He uploads like 10 videos a day of him saying, hey, I talked to someone. What he does is he notices who the manager at night's name is, and he goes into the next day and says, I talked to so-and-so last night about a remake order, and nobody ever wants to fucking deal with him because he sounds like he has fetal alcohol syndrome voice. Mm-hmm. So they just are like, okay, whatever. And he's probably stolen like $30,000 worth of fast food on that channel. And every video is like, all the haters, give me a thumbs up. Like, he's just taunting everybody all the time. For all the haters, what state am I at? He's like, just not... It's the funniest shit, man. He's awesome. He's my new favorite guy. I watched like 30 of his videos today.
That's pretty good.
He also will do shit like, when he realizes they are going to remake his order, they'll be like, all right, what was it? And he goes, a number 2, like a McDonald's breakfast with a large orange juice. It was 2 of them. So he gets 2 number 2s and 2 large orange juices. Like, fuck, man.
Damn, how does that keep working?
Like I said,
because I think like
he has like almost a Devin Sweeney voice.
It's not worth arguing.
It's so disarming you don't think someone that sounds like him is trying to get one over on anybody, let alone you.
Yeah.
So
I think
you just kind of go with it. And you're like, okay.
No, those guys. Some of those guys know exactly how to work it.
Dude, I'm saying it's a victimless crime. Honestly, those people are working anyway. He's not rude to them.
Oh yeah,
He's
they don't
very
care.
polite.
That's the thing. He just asks like, "Hey, I talked to somebody last night, and it's an order. Okay, like I'll make you a fucking order. What do I care?"
Yeah, I love the boldness of him though, of him being like, I'm so good at this. He's not worried about anyone. He's not worried about every single person starting to do this where his shit gets ruined because he knows they're not going to.
Yeah, it would be so much work, and most people have the shame. Most people have like a certain amount of dignity where they wouldn't want to resort to that. It's the same thing like, why doesn't everybody just panhandle? Because like most people just aren't willing to do that. Like you could make $100 today, but most people just aren't going to go do that.
Bro, I just opened up YouTube and my second video is 10 views from him 2 hours ago. And it's called This Is What I Do, Free McD's. And it's a 10-piece nugget, a double quarter pounder of cheese, a fry, and looks like more nuggets under it and a drink.
Nice. When I worked at 7-Eleven in like the training video that they showed you when you started, they said that the customer's always right no matter what. If someone comes in with a half-empty jug of milk that is a brand that we don't sell and it doesn't smell off, but they say it's expired and they want a new milk, give them a whole new 4-liter of milk. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I'm sure other companies like McDonald's or whatever, they're not in the... Unless you have like the really righteous person that like wants to like prove a point that they're right and the customer's wrong. Like,
yeah, unless you got one of those like dickhead managers that is like,
yeah, it would have to be late at night and the manager's the only one there and they're in a really bad mood.
Yeah,
but most
like
like if it's during the dinner rush, they're not going to take 10 minutes to try to deal with your situation.
It seems like he comes in at the very end of like breakfast and stuff too, so he catches people when they're in a good mood and shit.
Yeah,
yeah,
on
like early
change.
on. Yeah, it's like someone just got there and they're like, "Well, I'm not gonna deal with that." So like,
well,
just give them the fucking.
Yeah,
food.
you probably
What do
did
I care?
order 2 number 2s 10 minutes ago.
Yeah,
How would I
look
know?
at him. Yeah,
yeah, look at
Who
this guy.
cares?
Of course he ate him.
I haven't even tried to geolocate him yet, but he's challenging in every video. He goes, "Where do you think I'm at?"
It's such
Well,
a
there's a
low
Zaxby's.
stakes heist, and I do love that he like brags about it because it is just like you're stealing fast food. Awesome, who fucking cares?
I think for stream tomorrow, we're gonna geolocate him. That'll be a fun stream.
He has to be in the farthest north he could be is Louisville.
Yeah, I noticed
He's probably,
he has some pretty specific restaurants near him.
I would guess Atlanta area. That's
He has
where
a
the
car
highest
that-
concentration of Zaxby's is. That's the
He has
epicenter.
he has a car though, and he does go to multiple states. So I don't know. Like his local one would probably be where his first few videos are.
Here's what I want to see. I want to see him stealing gas. Being like, I called the
That's a
manager
good
last
idea.
night.
I would like to see
I
him
could get
say he
$30
steals
worth of
gas, but he just cries about NFL games on shorts.
Somewhere in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Free gas.
What state am I at?
Forgot
Interesting.
about that guy.
What state am I at has been stuck in my head all week because it's like a fucking hilarious, like dumb guy sentence. For all you haters, what state am I at? Like telling people to dox you, and you're just like, "Where am I at, bitch?" It's so funny.
Charlie's. Charlie's.
Ooh,
The
no
farthest
Charlie's.
north that could be would be Grand Rapids. Highest concentration is around the Atlanta area.
Okay, so George is probably looking good for him. The easiest way to probably do it, he walks through the parking lot and shit. I haven't even tried yet. Give me 10 minutes with him. We'll lock it down. But I don't want to I don't want to dox him. Like I don't want to
get him in trouble.
I like that he's doing
I don't
it.
care.
But he is challenging us.
He's awesome. Yeah, don't challenge me. Don't do that.
It's not too hard because it's all Southeast restaurant chains.
I'm gonna send it to Rainbow. Yo, let's pwn this fucking dumbass. You make a good TikTok, dude.
he has so
Dude,
many
we got to
of these
use his
videos.
strategy. We got to use his strategy.
You see what I mean? I was fucking just so involved watching him this morning. I love it.
They drop off, like there's months where he doesn't upload, and I'm wondering if he just like got caught for a bit.
Yeah.
Like had to slow down.
He got too full.
I think he just stacks
Yeah.
up uploads until he's near a good connection because he uploads like 12 a day sometimes.
That
He's
would
certainly
make
not
sense,
eating
too.
that much or doing it much like every day.
Yeah, he's definitely
Yeah.
not doing it every day.
He also
10 times
claims
a
that
day.
he doesn't even eat the food and he gives it to homeless people, which if he is cool, but I doubt it.
No,
He
he's
sounds
100%
like he's eating it.
Maybe some of
Yeah.
it because it is a lot of food.
It's a fuckload. How many subs is he at right now?
Like 2 combo meals, like
He has
I don't know.
307 subs
308.
and 604 videos. What a
It'd be hard to
god.
finish. Wow, he's been doing this for 3 years.
I know, man.
Maybe longer.
It's my favorite discovery in a long time. He's
4
so cool.
years. 4 years.
Okay, just kind of looking at him, I think he eats the meals.
Yeah.
He looks like he's a guy. He gets a free McDonald's, and he's like, "Well, I'm not gonna eat it. I got 2 things. I gotta." Well,
He looks like a guy where you could hide stuff in his ears from him, and he couldn't get it out.
Yeah, like a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would be so impressed if he found it.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
You'd be like, "Damn, I don't even need that though, because I got stuff for free. But that's pretty cool, man. You can keep it."
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, why don't you put it in the McDonald's cash for kids thing?
His big thing too is he's good at folding his receipt so it doesn't show the address, and he'll have that as his thumbnail.
Ooh.
And he complains when people. He's like, "I don't like when they don't give me the receipt, so I can't show you I got it for free." And it's like, don't worry, man. I'm pretty sure with all this, no one's believing that you're buying Red Lobster.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's okay.
That would be a really good bit. Is he's always just buying the food?
it's very funny that he asks for
wants
the
to
receipt.
show off on YouTube.
Demanding the receipt when you're getting food for free is very funny.
Yeah, and like
Are you gonna return it?
Yeah.
the most pain in the ass he gets, I guess, is when they're really busy and they gotta go with the manager to use that like the shipped card thing that opens. You know what I mean? Like that card they
Yeah.
swipe to enter refunds and shit. The manager
Yeah, to
card.
bypass the the purchase.
But when he sees
So
that out, that's when he knows it's on.
Yeah, that's when he
Yeah,
gets
so
on.
you
You
got
should
it.
get one of those.
They should just
I
give
wish
him
I had
one.
one of those. I wish I had a
Oh.
lanyard with a McDonald's manager shift change card.
I forgot his thing too. At the end of all videos, he says "Yay" at the end. So
That's
yay.
what I would say too if I
when
got
it
some Red
ends.
Lobster for $0.
Yeah,
I don't think I'd say
he got-
yay. if I was
he got
eating Red
two-
Lobster.
He got 2 8-piece shrimp cocktails from Red Lobster for free,
Pretty
Okay.
good.
and a bag of Cheddar Bay biscuits.
Yeah, but they'll just give those to you if you go in and just ask. Hey,
You just go in and ask
like-
him. Yeah, be like, "Hey, I came here yesterday and forgot my biscuits. Did you guys find them?
Yeah.
It's in a bag."
Like anytime
fun.
you're at a restaurant like that and you like want to take biscuits home, you can ask them. They'll just put like a shit ton in a container because they don't fucking care.
That was when we used to sit on Skype doing prank calls. We just all drink liquor and do prank calls, and call around to like different businesses at night. And mine would be calling the strip clubs and saying, "Did you find my candy I left there?" Like, "There's no candy." Like, "Well, it'd be in a cup. I dumped it all in a cup. And it'd be under
No,
a
I
chair."
didn't buy it from you guys.
And
Why
they
would
get
I
all
do
mad.
that?
Why you fucking bringing food in here? Sorry, man. Just asking.
I
I will not be back.
Yeah, I think I left to handle a Captain Morgan there. No, it wasn't from you guys. No, you guys. I'm not paying you guys $10 for a drink. Are you fucking serious? No, that's why I bring it in. That's the whole reason I bring it in.
Did I like my liquor in y'all's bathroom? I'm gonna be back for it.
You have the rest of my
Can you
six pack.
Did I leave a line on the counter?
They would get so mad. Like, no, you're not getting your fucking Reese's Pieces. Why are you bringing shit in here? Sorry, man.
I think I left a Pez dispenser.
But imagine them being like happy to help you. Like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry about that. We'll keep looking for you.
80%
Well, like,
of
is
the
there a
calls
They
number
we
just
do
want to know
back
where it
then,
is so they can eat it.
80% of the calls we would do back then, and this is like 2010. People, we would do the fucking Mopar Man soundboard, and it would get people so good because there's so many different versions of that guy's shit. Like when he goes, "I'm calling about the rolled Dodge on Craigslist," and they're like, "What?" So you just call people that are selling like Dodge parts on Craigslist and be like, "On the fucking rolled Dodge on Craigslist? Are you fucking deaf?" And they're like, "What?" This one guy one day was like, "Listen here, motherfucker! I am a Michigan State trooper." He was losing it, just fucking screaming. He's from Lincoln Park, Michigan.
Yeah, any sort of trading stuff like that, people are very easy to prank because everybody's justifiably pissed off already. Just dealing with Facebook Marketplace bullshit. Everyone's like on edge already.
When they scream, they're like, "What the fuck do you say to me?" And you just make the soundboard go, "Huh? Huh?" Or it just gets louder and louder, and the guy's just like, "Whoo," losing their shit, not realizing they're talking to a fucking recording from 3 years before on a soundboard. I'm calling
'cause
about
it's
the
like
fucking
the
the rolled Dodge. Do you fucking understand? You understand
What was
that?
it? CJ was selling like his TV or like a TV stand, and what was it? Carter Boy was
Carter
like the
Boy.
signature
fucking
on
Carter Boy.
every text.
I saw
And he was like, "What he was? He was saying like, oh, is the TV still for sale?" And he's like, "No." And he was like, "Fuck you."
It wasn't even fuck you. I'm pretty sure it was just replying with the F slur.
Yeah, like people ask you, like, is this still available? And you'll say no, or they'll try to like lowball you by 90%. And you'll say, no, I'm not, I won't accept that. And then they just like unleash a torrent of abuse. And it's like a picture of them holding their kid in their real name.
Do you remember when I would message people that was selling anything camouflage, asking them if I could see it? And then when they sent a picture, I'd go, where is it? And I keep going for like 2 hours. I'm not getting it. They're like, the files? I'm like, no, the files you're sending, but I don't see it. Then they finally realized what I'm doing. Or
Yo, is that legit from the army?
The one lady that was selling the Mr. Potato Head shit, and I was like, who the hell's gonna want this? It's smashed to pieces. Broken. Look at this, bits of it all over.
I have an army surplus Xbox 360 camo skin.
Damn.
It's actually the ones they use in the army.
I have a Call of Duty Jeep. Those were so cool to see on the road, the Rubicons. The Call of Duty skin Rubicon. Fuck, man. Wonder how much the Call of Duty package was extra on like a brand new one.
Oh my god.
So
Imagine
sick.
buying that.
Yeah, I got my COD trim. Not imagine buying that. Imagine buying one of those or imagine sitting in one of those that you bought, but it's 7 years later and you're like, man.
Why did I buy all this DLC for my car?
Yeah, I don't have a console anymore. I would drive a Fortnite version of a car. That'd be sweet.
Rainbow Siege Ford Taurus. I'd be in it. I'd be fine.
Rainbow Six Siege Pontiac Vibe, the Jinxie edition.
Yes, there it is. Junko.
Do they really have a Ford Taurus?
No.
Okay.
No, that'd be.
I was
sick.
trying to think. It's like, is that in Siege? I just. My
Yeah,
mom
they
had
got
a
cars
Ford
now.
Taurus station wagon back in the 2000s.
I was a Mercury Sable driver myself.
I had a Ford Taurus, Chrysler Cirrus. I had a lot of cars.
Actually, I did have a Ford Taurus, also a black one. My
You made
first
a lot
car. My first car was a
bluish.
Mazda 323 hatchback,
Ooh.
3-cylinder.
It was a
Had
Chrysler
to fucking
Cirrus
rock
that
when
I
I'm
did
going
not
up
like.
hills.
87 Jeep Cherokee Tahoe.
Oh, I did
500
not.
bucks.
Damn.
Those things would drive forever though. Any Jeep Cherokee shit from the 80s, if it was taken care of even a little bit, it was really hard to break those. I knew
I
a
would've
family that
tried.
would all had like grand Cherokee wagons from like way back. Their dad would he bought them when it was new. You remember the old like wood panel ones that were kind of boxy,
Yeah.
like Freaks and Geeks style ones. He would buy those like as often as possible when he'd see them like sort of low mileage, and they would just have like 7 in their driveway. He's obsessed.
Damn.
They were good though. I mean, they just rotate them. I bet he's driving one to this day.
He must be a huge stoner.
Yep, he actually was. He was one of
Having
the
a wagon
early,
with wood paneling.
Early smokers.
They were one of the earliest. They were a family with like 6 boys, no girls, and I
Nice.
think their mom died too, and they're just like a dirt bike family. So they were one of the first
okay.
houses I would go to
Nice.
where they would be growing weed.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
this
that's
is
that's the best shit
04.
ever, dude. All guys,
Yep,
no mom.
all guys, no mom.
You got dirt bikes.
You know you're getting pizza every time you go over there.
Hell yeah.
You know their dad's gonna be really angry and making you feel uncomfortable, just like his sons.
That
Like you're
was-
one of the
that was
gang.
Your
always
house has
fun.
been the bomb since your mom died.
Dude, it's the shit
When-
here. This is fun as shit.
This is fun
hanging
as
out
shit.
with hanging out with like my divorced friends, and like you'd stay at their normal house, and like it was their mom, and like you're in like their house and like playing in the basement, and then you're like oh I'm gonna stay at my dad's this weekend. You want to stay with me? Okay, cool. And then like you go to like
Oh my
their
God.
grandma's pool to swim, and then you go to his dad's apartment, and it's like a 1-bedroom apartment. So you're
Yeah.
like someone's on the couch, someone's on the floor.
That was always such a pain in the ass. When you had to tell your parents 2 different addresses for a friend. And there's like certain days where he's at certain people's houses. It's just extra bullshit to deal with.
I should have
Dude,
stayed
my
home and
parents
played
just
video games.
trusted. I think my parents just trusted that I wasn't going to hang out with too much of weirdos because they never asked for addresses or anything.
I wasn't allowed to talk to kids with divorced parents. Or kids who were adopted. I had to tell them we couldn't be friends.
He wasn't like
Yeah.
he wasn't like my homie from 2nd grade, but maybe it was like someone that my mom worked with or knew. I forget exactly. It was like a family friend. They lived in the trailer park, which I thought was sick when I was in 2nd grade because you could like everything was so close and you could rip around in it.
Exactly.
But in his bedroom, he had a closet. And he was like, "This is my closet. I'm not allowed to like open it. I think because my parents are hiding my new bike in there." But there's all these cool lights that always come out of it. I'm like, oh, wow, that's such a mystery. And I told like my mom after he hung out, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's growing marijuana." And well, not he, his parents. He was fucking 7 or 8.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're like, "No, that's was probably a grow up. Yeah, it's not legal, but it's also not that big of a deal. But just want to go around talking about it in your podcast."
They put a new paint job on my bike. They have to use UV lights in red and blue LEDs to dry the paint job on my bike for about 6 months, and then they're gonna have to dry the bike. They're gonna have to hang the bike up to dry, and then have some fans and some ventilation. And
But I remember.
And then I can't get the bike right away, maybe for a few
No,
years.
like his
maybe
birthday
ever.
wasn't for like 6 months, which is why I think he was convinced that he wasn't allowed to open it.
why would they get the bike that early?
I know, right?
That would be the worst fucking present to get like 8 months early
Try to
and try to put it in the closet.
to hide a bike for 8
Like
months.
you could buy it at the bike store and just like have them keep it.
Did you guys ever find presents on accident they were hiding?
A couple times.
Everything I find is a present.
A couple times too, but luckily I had so many siblings I never knew if it was for me or not, so I just wouldn't even address it. I would just fucking forget about it and be like, all right. If it was
Ask
for
all
me,
your
cool.
siblings?
If it's not, it's fine. Yeah,
All right,
tell
who was this for? Who do you
Tell
think this
my-
was for?
tell my siblings just to see, hey, I saw blah blah blah. Let's see who gets it, huh? Let's see who they like the most.
Ranking all the presents. Who's gonna get the best one?
If you guys want
Presents
to,
tier list.
if you guys want to get
Presents tier
yourself a
list.
present, tickets for our live show on
Are on
Chet, what's
sale.
the date?
June 16th.
Hey, you learned since
You know what's
yesterday.
cool?
Thanks,
There's a
guys.
lot of people